Hi there, so in this video I'm going to be teaching you how to find the highest common factor and least common multiple of two numbers. Now when you look at this question I've got here, the first thing that might stand out to you is the fact that I've got two negative numbers. Now this doesn't really matter because actually the highest common factor and least common multiple of these two is the same as for just their positive counterparts, that is just 36 and 24. Right, so first, for both the highest common factor and least common multiple, you would find the prime factorisation to both these numbers, which I'm going to do 36 and 24. So, here we have 36. Well, I know 36 is 6 times 6, and we know that 6 equals 2 times 3. So our 36 equals 2 times 3 times 2 times 3, or just 2 squared times 3 squared. So, right, and for 24, so I know 24 is 8 times 3, and 8 equals 2 cubed, so 24 is 2 cubed times 3. So hence I've got now 24 equals 2 cubed times 3, and 36 equals 2 squared times 3 squared. Now it's important to line the primes up in this factorisation because we'll need that later. Right, for the least common multiple, what you do is you take the highest powers of the primes in each line. So here, the highest power of 2, that's a square and that's a cube, so the highest power is a cube. Here, that's 3, or just 3 to the 1, so the highest power is 3 squared. And you multiply these. So the least common multiple is just 2 cubed times 3 squared, which is just 8 times 9, which is 72. Now something special happens for the highest common factor, or HCF, so let me demonstrate. So for the highest common factor, you take the lowest powers of the primes and you multiply, so that would be a 3 and a 2 squared. So in this case, the highest common factor is 2 squared times 3, which is just 4 times 3 is 12. But something kind of special happens if you have a prime that's missing from one of those. So say I had two numbers, one was like 2 times 3 times 7, and the other, remember to line up, was 2 squared times 7 squared. Now, if I was finding the highest common factor for this, and I was looking for a term that you would not, the highest common factor, it would be wrong to say that the highest common factor was 2 times 3 times 7. That would be wrong. Because when there's no 3 in another row, or there's no prime, you do not count it in the sum. So it would just be 2, lowest power of 2, times 7. So that should be the HCF in this case. Right. So back to our case, and we're done. So we have the highest common factor, therefore, now remember, write a conclusion, you should always write a conclusion, and carry it back to the negatives here. So therefore, highest common factor of negative 36 and negative 24 is 12, and lowest common multiple is 72.